are traditions.
What kind of tradition is that? Don't bait the wife before she enters.
Because we are baiting all the evil this thing from the wives before.
Very first night that they did it,
Eats.
That's why I say, oh yeah, let's do more. Second one, let's do more.
No, me, I know they do again. Corners of the house.
Spray anointing
oil. They don't
answer you.
them.
Just let my mommy just look at you like this. Your senses will come back to so that by the time you get to remember, you'll be able to pray out every form of temptation. Hi guys. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. It's so good to see you guys again.
It's good to be back again.
Yes.
And the holidays are over, so we are back to business. I know we've missed you so much, and I know you would have missed us too.
Of course,
of course. We're happy to be back, and to bring you more exciting,
interesting, spiritual,
yes,
loving, romantic
content.
My name is Tosi.
And I am Tolu.
And we are
T&T Adigun.
So today we have a very interesting topic that we'll be talking about. We've dropped 2 episodes of tips that you need when you are planning a budget-friendly and a successful wedding. I hope you have seen them. If you haven't, go and see
Go and watch them. Yeah. They are packed with a lot of things.
Actually, in this video, we are also discussing something very interesting. What are we talking about today?
We're going to be talking about 10 important conversations you should have with your partner before you get married.
Yes.
So these are very important conversations that you can't do without having, or you shouldn't do without having. It's very dangerous. So you should have these conversations, ranging from spiritual to physical to a lot of things. It will help you to get to know each other better, so you don't get into marriage as alien or foreigners to each other. So you should watch this video to the end, and it will help you a lot. Definitely. The number one conversation, very important one that you should talk about, is getting to know each other's families.
The family dynamics.
Yes, you should get to know how the other person's family is. I mean, it will help you a lot to know how to behave, how to interact with them, what to expect. I mean, a lot of things, what to prepare for. The way your family is not the way the other person's family is.
Of course.
For instance, let me give you an example. Or number one thing that could be, or one of the things that you should watch out for, or you should discuss about, is under this is family traditions. There might be some traditions in your own family that are not in the other person's family. For instance, they might be saying in your family, okay, I think we heard from somebody.
There's an example of a family that we were told that in the husband's family, it is a tradition that when they give birth to their kids, like the newly born kids, the wife should not see the child for 3 days.
3 good days.
3 days
so
after she has given birth, they carry the baby.
Yes, that is the tradition. And imagine they did not discuss that before their wedding. Imagine they just come to you and they say, this is our tradition, bring the baby. The husband will now start scratching his head and saying, babe, I'm sorry, I should have told you. These are things that you should have discussed. Some families, they will say before the bride would enter the husband's house, they will pour water on the leg, or maybe some women will gather and bait the wife before you take her home. These are traditions.
What kind of tradition is that? Don't bait the wife before she enters.
Yes, because they are baiting all the evil this thing from the wives before entering their house, because their house is perfect. So she's the one that could bring those things. So these are traditions that you should discuss. If you have something like this, or even it might not be as serious as this,
even to the tiniest detail. Because if you know these things, you both will be able to prepare ahead of things. You'll be able to know how to tackle them when it comes, because it is the 2 of you against the world. It shouldn't be the both of you against each other.
And if you are not even going to tackle them, if you want to have the baits, you want them to wash you, you will be prepared. It won't be that day that you'll not be wondering well, you didn't tell me this, didn't you know? See your brother get married, you did not tell me anything like this. So these are things that you should discuss. Your family dynamics, the differences, how things work in your family, you should discuss this.
Another family dynamic that you need to discuss about is, there are some times that you cannot avoid the in-laws visiting.
Yes.
What are your takes about it? What is your husband's take? What is your wife's take about it? Is she somebody that is ready to accommodate them for a long time? Is she open to take somebody in? Is she not open to? So these are things that you should be able to discuss. If you come from a family that, babe, there is no way a family is going to visit us, and you cannot avoid. I think that is actually common in the Yoruba family. So you cannot avoid it. So you need to discuss. If it's somebody that feels like, I don't want somebody to come to visit us, to even come to our home probably for the first 3 years, or for the first 2 years, or for the first 1 year. You need to discuss it so that at least you would know how to go about it when issues like that arise at any point in time.
And I think this sometimes it relates to the background of each of you. For instance, the ladies probably grew up in a family where they're always having visitors. Maybe one uncle is always sending the brother, sending somebody to stay with them, and the other person, maybe where they grew up, they were just 2 or 3, and they were used to having their rooms around, so
they like their privacy.
The other person might be like, once I get married, I can call my brothers come and stay with us, I can call my uncle. It might not even be the families that will send somebody, or it might just be, I just want people around me. You should discuss all these things and come to an agreement before you move on.
The number 2 conversation that you need to have before you get married to your partner is a parenting conversation.
Yes.
You need to talk about the number of children that you want to have. Do you even want children at all? Because there are people that will say, I don't want children. So I'm getting married to my wife, and the 2 of us is just the 2 of us.
No children.
My husband and myself and my wife, and that's all. So do you want kids? How many kids do you want? When do you want to start having kids?
Do
you want to get married and then you start making babies immediately? I know that some people fell into the trap of, the first day I get married, I'm not going to have kids, in fact for 3 years. But my brother and my sister, the first night, and God so good, their husband is a very good player. They are kicker.
And they are a very good
the first
keeper.
night, they are a very good keeper. Goalkeeper. They caught the goal. And that very first night that they did it, it is
a goal. So you need to discuss
exactly
if you need to use protection, so you won't be surprised after on wedding night your husband is saying that I'm not going to do it inside, and you're now saying why, so you won't have issues on your wedding night, starting from your wedding night over all these kind of things. There are issues you could have sorted before.
Do you want 20 children? Do you want 30? Because
do you want just 2?
Do you want just 2? You need to have a conversation about that, so that when you get married and you get the first belle, the husband say, let's do more. Second one, let's do more.
I know they do again.
The wife will be like, I'm tired, I'm not doing anymore. So you need to have this conversation as to aim at a particular goal, because the goal is to have one mindset together in marriage. You don't have to, you shouldn't have different motives. It should be one purpose, because you are one. So you should be driving at the same purpose and making sure that he brings his input and you bring your input to make sure that you fulfill this goal.
And another thing under this parental thing that you should discuss about is the parenting style. So maybe you grew up in a home where they don't beat you, or maybe if you don't finish your food,
can never be my
home.
Finish
it. Okay, take it to the kitchen, just trash it.
Where you are being over pampered. There are some houses like that. There are some families like that. If you have kids, come to our house. You will not eat care. By the time my mommy look for one slipper, maybe it's a normal Yoruba. You normal Yoruba home. If you grew up in a normal Yoruba home, you know what I'm saying.
Even
the height, that's all you know. Just let my mommy just look at you like this. Your senses will come back to normal.
So you need to discuss the style. Our children, we don't want them to go visiting our neighbors. They shouldn't be playing outside. This is what we want. So it won't be you won't be having all these issues when you start having
Actually.
children.
And in fact, for the kids, by the time they start growing up, because you know, sometimes they are still kids, they don't understand some things. But if you both have talked about this thing, it's not going to be a one-sided thing.
Yes, you
that
agree.
The children will now grow up hating one
person and
they
say,
will
no,
say,
my mommy is
whenever
nice.
I say my daddy should do this, my daddy will do it, but my mommy, she will not do it.
She will not let us watch television unless we read.
You
but
know?
my daddy will let us watch it anytime, you know.
You know, I saw a video online, and the video was about a little girl that went to meet the dad. The girl said she wanted chocolates. She had a lot of chocolates that week. And then she went to meet the dad, say, oh, daddy, I want chocolate. And the dad was like, okay, what did your mom say? The girl was like, my mom said I cannot have chocolate. And the dad said, if your mom says you can't have it, then you can't have it. So in that kind of situation, that is a perfect way to go about it.
Yeah.
It's not a situation whereby your kid will come and meet you.
You only at 10.
Exactly.
Don't worry,
and
I'll
even
buy
if
you.
you want that kid to have it, it's a conversation you should have with your wife.
Yes, with
you
the
should
mother.
have with the mother to discuss as to, oh baby, okay, so why don't you want this kid to have this chocolate at this time or something like that? So you'll be able to come to compromise.
And sometimes it should be in private and say, okay, why don't you want him to go out? It's because of this, and okay, and then you agree on one thing. It won't be like daddy is saying A, mommy is saying B.
So you need to have this conversation before you get married. Get to know the kind of parenting style that you think your husband might want to take up as a father, and the kind of parenting style that you think your wife might want to take up. Well, to me, I feel like my husband might be the gentle, cool father.
I'm
like,
a disciplinarian. I don't like.
I'm not sure if you be a disciplinarian as I am, because one kid cannot come from anywhere and come and do anyhow.
I don't like it, but although I can pamper, I can pamper a lot, but if it comes to doing anyhow, I don't tolerate that.
Of course, now you were raised. I know where you were raised. Now you were raised in a typical Yoruba background, so you need to have this conversation on how you would like to take care of your kids, the things that you know, how to bring them up, how to let them grow, how to nurture them.
Yeah.
So it is a very important conversation to have before you get married. The number 3 conversation that you need to have before you get married.
Very important one.
Is religious and spiritual belief.
Yes.
This one is very, very important.
Very
In fact,
important,
it's very broad. It is very, very broad, because for example, somebody like me, even my husband, because I've been to their house and I know the way they run things there. We grew up in a home whereby very early in the morning, before you set out, before you do anything, the family needs to gather to do a family altar. They need to pray together, commit their ways into God's hands. It might not be like that in another person's family. Some people, for example, those that grew up in Lagos now, you are working, you are staying on the mainland and you are going to the highland. They will wake up very early in the morning. They have to rush before they can get a bus or something. So they might not really gather, or somebody might not even have time to say, okay, I want to sit down, family altar, like 30 or 1 hour
before going out.
Family altar. So you need to know and come to terms to what this person has grown up with, or the kind of background, or the kind of
that they had.
Yes, the kind of experience that this person has had before this person is getting married to you. Not that you're going to now get married and then you say, you have to be
should have woken up, let's just come and pray.
Altar.
Whereas he's still sleeping by then, or he's doing something else.
Exactly.
You know, you should agree on all these kind of things. And also beliefs. You know, some families, they believe that before they sleep, you go to the corners of your house, you put anointing oil that Papa gave them, or that is their belief, and that is what has been working for them. And you don't believe in all those things. You don't even have any oil to talk about.
Apart from palm oil and groundnut oil that you used to cook in the kitchen.
Imagine, you now get married, wedding night, your husband now takes out anointing oil. You're like, what are you doing?
It will be like, are you performing rituals on my head?
Or he's saying something, the Lord is on wait, what is this?
Or for example, somebody that you told me that you said in their house there is a particular location where they put an altar. they have to put like
have a
literal
particular
altar.
stool.
They will put it there, say, oh,
There.
this is the altar. Just like in church when they put pulpits. So
Exactly.
this person will put
They have
pulpits
their
and say,
Bible,
this is a
they have
sacred
anointing
place, you
oil,
don't touch it.
They have anointed handkerchiefs, all those kind of things. They put them in a particular place, saying this is the, and whenever they want to pray, they'll not bring it out. The altar with the candle and all those kind of things. So imagine where maybe your partner grew up in that kind of background, and you don't have anything like that. It's now saying this place is our altar. We putting candle, we putting handkerchiefs.
And mind you, we are not saying all these things because they are not good or they are bad or
you
anything.
need to discuss
You
them.
just need to discuss. You need to know exactly. You need to know what this person's religious belief is, what this person think this thing is about, and not just in that aspect alone, even in the knowledge aspect. What knowledge of the Bible does this person know? What knowledge of the Bible do I know? How does this person see this particular verse of the Bible? What do you think about it? And that is why in a Christian relationship, most importantly, you need to talk about the Word of God every time, every now and then, to be able to know the knowledge of each other, to be able to contribute, to come to a level. Because you know the verse of the Bible, when you read it sometimes, even to you as a person, when you read it sometimes, it gives different meanings to you. So the same thing is applicable to a normal human being. There might be a knowledge that he has about a particular verse that you don't see it like that. For example, verse of the Bible, I think in Numbers chapter 14 verse 18, that says that the Lord is slow to anger, abounding in love, and forgiving sin and rebellion. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation. You know, this verse is very, very broad, and in fact it can give a different meaning to somebody else and give you a different
based on their
background, and based on what they
have
been taught over time, and what they have also fed themselves with over time. So things like this should be what you should discuss about. And I also know that you don't know everything. Nobody is an island of knowledge. You should also be open to knowledge. You should look at a way to help each other spiritually. If you say that, oh, there's still these aspects, when you talk, when you have conversations like this, and you see that, oh, this person is still lacking in this aspect, that is not when you now start seeing that person as the babe. That's not when you start seeing this person as the babe in Christ, or you now start seeing the person as one unserious Christian, or a Christian that has not grown yet. But rather, you're supposed to help each other to grow in the knowledge of Christ.
If you need to speak to somebody, if you need to listen to messages, if you need to read books to grow in all these things,
aspects, spiritually,
you should work on that before you get married. The fourth conversation that you should have before getting married is your sexual expectations, your desires, and your boundaries. You know, I believe we are children of God, and we know the right things to do.
Of course.
But these things are meant to be discussed, and you should be able to express yourself and say, for instance, you might say, I don't want to know how we are going, but this particular thing, when it comes to sex, I cannot do it for you. Maybe I just ate it naturally. You know, if it's something that maybe the brother has been dreaming about, or the lady has been dreaming about, saying, this is exactly what I want. This is why I'm getting married. And lady is saying, this particular thing, I cannot do it. If you cannot compromise, maybe you guys will have to pass way, or maybe somebody will have to compromise. And if you cannot compromise, you know that, okay, this is not the way for me. So rather than now getting to marriage, and then that particular thing that you saw will now be the issue that will now break you guys, or will now start eating you up. So you should discuss your boundaries. You can't go past this place. I can't do this for you, and your expectations when it comes to sex.
And I think this topic is a very important topic, because most times we tend to shy away from this topic because we are Christians. I feel like it shouldn't be something that we should shy away from, because sex in marriage is, I can say, is in fact like number 2 of the things that cause issues in marriages. Yes. Some marriages have crashed because the couple could not satisfy themselves sexually, and we are not saying that you should now start practicing some things that you should not be practicing. Of course, we have the Bible, because of course the word of God is the foundation to every Christian marriages. So you need to know what the Bible is saying about a particular thing. So we all know what the Bible is saying about sex before marriage. The Bible already told us that you should keep your marriage sacred, with bed undefiled. So we all know what that means, but that does not mean that there are some key things that you need to discuss. And if you think that it is not really too safe for you to discuss it, you can consult elders. You can consult people that have gone into marriage before, that are experienced, those that you know that yes, they have knowledge, they have a bit of knowledge in this thing. And I feel like even during counseling, these are things that counseling should be about as well. They should be able to call the couples together, discuss with them, let them know that, oh, because we've been married, we've seen this is how things are done, so you need to prepare yourself ahead. Know what the interest of your partner is before you go into it. It's not that you get home and your partner will just say, oh yeah,
I want you to do this,
let's do
I want
this.
us to be doing this, and you'll be like, no, never.
I can't do it. And then it turns to a dispute and something that it becomes very difficult to get over. So,
another angle, let me quickly add this, is some people, they believe that once they engage you, then that is the way, that is the entrance. What else? I've engaged you, I've met your dad, I've met your mom,
so
what
we can
else?
start having sex.
So what else are you? I mean, this is my own belief. Some people, I mean, this is not in Christendom though, but I've seen people that said, I have to impregnate you before
I get
you know, all those kind of things.
I think sometimes it could be family tradition too.
Yes.
I've heard of families that say, you have to impregnate your wife. We need to know if she is fruitful before we
I even know that this brother, even though the brother is only in church, he still has this tradition that is inherent in him, and he's still strong. That even though I'm a Christian, my daddy has been doing this, and when my brother did this, I have to do it too. So you need to discuss all these things and be open-minded.
And with this strength of God, carrying God along, asking God to help you, because having sex conversation sometimes, we know it's not easy. Even sometimes when you don't even have the conversation, seeing the woman girl is enough sometimes as men, because yes, we understand that men are moved by what they see. Of course, we don't need to shy away from this. Men are moved by what they see. What do you mean by know, right? So men are moved by what they see, not to now talk of having the conversation, a lot of things. In fact, I think it is just natural as human.
I think I would like this.
So you need to be very, very careful when you are having that conversation, but not shying away from it, because it is a very, very important conversation you need to have before you get married.
Maybe you should have it before you go for revival.
so that by the time you get to revival, you'll be able to pray out every form of temptation out of your body. You won't be able to do what you should not do.
The fifth conversation that you should have as intending couples are your life goals. What do you want to become? What do you want to achieve? Where are you headed? You should discuss all these things. As a man, are you planning to travel out? Maybe your goal is after getting married, I'm traveling out. As a lady, maybe you are planning to open a school. That is my vision in life, to open a school and start bringing up people in the way of God. Or maybe you are planning to become a pastor
or a missionary.
A missionary
that you leave the wife at home for 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 1 year
to go to Kafancha and go and preach. So you should discuss all these things.
Actually,
and
very important.
Know whether this person go, me, I want to jackpot, you want to stay in Nigeria. You know that there's nothing that can move you from Nigeria. And you are saying there's nothing that can make you stay in Nigeria. You should know that you are not, you can't, if you go and get married, that marriage is heading to crash.
For some of us ladies, they'll be saying, I cannot be a pastor's wife. I cannot be a pastor's wife. You need to ask the brother before you marry the brother. Is God calling you, or has God started flashing you? Yes, because you need to ask him. do you see yourself becoming a pastor? Do you see yourself becoming a minister of God? We are all ministers of God, but do you really see yourself going into the ministry, becoming a pastor? You know, it's not easy to become a pastor's wife. Even, come and ask me.
Or even maybe you are passionate about studying more. Oh, I want to become a professor, and or maybe I'm thinking about starting a company, and I need you to resign because this is what I'm going to be doing.
Actually, it will help you to know the sacrifices that you'll be able to put in place to be able to achieve this
and
goal.
Assist each other.
How can I assist you? How can I go about it? Oh, is it good by me? Is it okay by me? Is it something I feel like I want to do in my future? Is it what I want to be involved in the future? You need to have this conversation. So the number 6 conversation that you need to have before you get married to your partner is finance.
Yes. How do you plan to handle finance?
Is it your money is your money and my money is my money, or your money is our money? Baby, you know your money is our money, right?
Of course. And your money is our money. Our money is our money.
So it's very important.
Let me hint them. We are going to be making a video on finances and how we handle our finances.
Watch out for that.
Yes.
Make sure you don't miss it when it's out. So finance is something that you need to talk about. It is very, very important. And in fact, I think for some times, I think 2 weeks or a week ago, it was trending on Twitter. There was this topic of finance in marriage and all of that. It is very, very important. How do you want to be gathering money together? Is it that you bring your own at the end of the month? I bring my own, we put it together, and we know that, oh, we are having a joint account. Or you are spending it independently.
Or is this just one person that will be taking care of? Your own money is for you and your friends and for Omble. You know?
Which one is Omble? Spiritual brother. Which one? I don't know what Omble is, please.
So you need to have that conversation.
And in fact, it will even help them when you are bringing up your kids, when you give birth.
Yes.
Okay. Is it you that will be buying Pampers for the kids?
School fees.
Is it me that will be paying school fees? Am I the one that will be buying food stuff into the house?
So it won't be when the kids now come, you now be saying, I'm the one paying house rent. I mean, what are you using your money for? Only data. I beg, this thing cannot work again. You now start fighting. You should have all those conversations before you get married.
The 7th conversation that you need to have before you get married is how to resolve conflicts in marriage. How will you be resolving your conflicts? For us, we don't sleep, and I think we've mentioned this in a video that we made earlier, that we need to resolve our issues before we sleep. Whenever we have issues, you don't sleep. You cannot come to the bed and sleep beside me.
That is our own goal. Although sometimes we sleep. We sleep. Let me tell you, we sleep. But I mean, that is what we are striving at achieving. That we won't go to bed without settling whatever issues we have. So if you have that kind of mindset, that is just our own. Your own might be in the next 1 hour, an hour must not pass before we settle it. It depends on how it works. Or maybe your own is you sleep,
and then when you wake up, your mind would have gone down, and you will not talk about it. Or maybe you go out, you still talk.
Or maybe you go out, make sure you go out, not to go and do something bad, but just to cool your head and then come back and then talk about.
Cool which head? You come and cool the head in the house.
No. It depends on how it works.
Why would you go out to go and cool your head?
It might just be to the neighbor, or maybe just around the house, or even outside the corridor. I mean, outside, just sit down, or maybe just spend time separately, not looking at each other.
Hey,
some people are like that.
Don't look at me.
Maybe
when we have issues, look at me like this. Sit down with me.
It depends on the person. Some people might want to stay inside the room while you are watching something, or you are playing, pressing your phone. Just calm down, and maybe an hour or 2 you come back together. It depends on how it works for you guys. So you should just make sure you discuss it. Maybe this is what works for me, this is what works for me. You now agree on something, and then you start practicing, and it will help you in settling your and not aggravating and becoming more
and
complicated.
Keeping records of evil.
Yes. So the 8th conversation you should have with your partner before you get married is your emotional needs. What do you do, or what do I do to make you feel loved? What should you do to make me feel loved? How do you want me to be interacting with you?
In a nutshell, your partner's love language.
Exactly.
Is this somebody that wants acts of service? Is this somebody that wants gifts?
Like she said, what do you do to make the other person feel loved, and how you can best communicate. What you are doing might not be what the person likes.
Actually,
you might be doing, see, I bought you this, I did this, I did this,
that.
I did this. That is what you thought.
Hair. I bought you this, I brought you that, I brought you that.
That is what you thought the person wants. Whereas the person just wants you to just look into their eyes and tell them, I love you.
Baby, look into my eyes.
Yes.
Tell me you love
that
me.
Person. We are talking about that person now. We'll talk our whole later. It might just be one small thing that you're not doing that the person wants. It might be maybe just cooking for me very early in the morning and bringing it to the bed and saying, baby, this is your breakfast. That's the only thing that they want.
Who does not want breakfast in bed? Even me, I want breakfast in bed.
Really?
Yes, please.
Like I did yesterday, right?
Which yesterday?
So you should discuss how best to communicate your love and what each of you wants.
Yeah,
so
and under this same point, you need to understand what respect is to your partner.
Yes.
There are some people that when you do something, they don't see it as respect, or they take it as, you might just be doing it on a norm, like, oh, I'm just doing this thing, and you don't know that you've disrespected your partner.
Yeah.
So you need to get what respect is actually to your partner, so that along the line, when you are doing something that you think, oh, you are doing it for the both of you, you've disrespected
Let me give you an example. Like, I don't want to tell you who the person is to me, but I know your couple. The wife has a special cup for the husband. She's usually having, special cups, special plates that nobody, even visitors, can use or should use. It is especially for the husband. And I don't know, maybe the husband likes it like that, or he's just just enjoying it like that. But some people, that might be their love language. So if you go and use my plate, you have disrespected me. So,
or there's a kind of meat that you give in the house,
yes,
that you're not gonna give somebody. Why did you give this person my meat? You'll be like, which one is your
I also
meat?
know somebody, they don't serve any other person before they serve their husband. If he's not around, they will pack his own first. This is my husband's food.
Before they now serve any other
person. So
you need to understand what love language and what respect
is to the person.
To your partner.
Another thing that is quite related to this is trust and security. You should discuss what trust is to you and what security is to you.
What can you do to make your partner to trust you?
Yeah.
Or how does this person really build a kind of trust in you?
Or what can you do to make the person feel secure? So you need to discuss this. To some people, it might be wearing this like I'm doing now.
No, don't wear it now. What did you wear it for? Why would you wear it? You wear your ring. You're a married man.
I will throw it away now.
Why will you, God forbid? I don't see a reason why you will be married and you not be going out and you not wear your ring. What's that?
Let's just continue.
What's that?
To some people, it might be uploading each other's pictures.
When was the last time you uploaded my picture, baby?
We'll talk about that.
No. Let's talk. Let them judge. When was the last time you uploaded my picture, baby? When? As I ended this video now, you go and upload. Which one is Happy New Year? Is it my personal picture that you uploaded for Happy New Year?
Sorry. Yes, ma. I will upload it. After this video, I will. So, to some people, it might be checking each other's phone. And some people, they might say, I don't want you touching my phone, or I don't want you going out with me with my friends.
As funny as this is, I've seen a couple of videos online where the phone of the husband will ring. The husband is inside the bedroom, and because
I'll run out. So, to some people, and to some couple, they don't even touch each other's phone. They trust each other to that extent, and that is what they believe trust is to them. So you should discuss this. So your wife will not be saying, I have to check your phone, and the husband is saying, no, I don't want you checking my phone, or I can't be wearing, I don't like wearing ring or jewelry, and you're saying, no, you have to wear it, or you should be wearing the same clothes,
matching outfits.
Of
course.
Why the other person is saying, are we twins? I hate this.
Baby, why are you attacking me indirectly? No, just tell me that
those examples are flowing because
just tell me that
they are flowing. You understand, right? They are flowing. I don't have to think about them.
But it is just proper. Have you seen couples wearing matching outfits? It's always dope.
The number 10 conversation you should have with your partner before getting married is discussing your past experiences. This this is talking about your experience with your ex. Maybe
if you had any ex.
If you had any ex, or maybe manipulations, anything that is maybe that really hurts you, or maybe something that really makes you very happy, or something that you are supposed to share, or maybe somebody has done something really terrible with you, or done something terrible to you, especially related to relationships. You should discuss all this. You should be vulnerable and open to each other when discussing this, so you don't carry emotional baggage into your marriage. So you don't, for instance, let's say you wanted to get married, and then the husband or the guy said, oh, I'm going to Canada, don't worry, you are coming with me, in the next 2 months we'll get married, and then he disappeared. And then you are now getting married because of that. Anytime you hear Canada or you hear travel, you just see the guy as
he wants to do the same thing
that
this guy did to me.
So you should be open-minded, be vulnerable to each other, and be, you discuss all these things,
and in fact, discussing that will allow your partner to know what your fears are.
Yes.
And will be able to look for a way to avoid them. So you need to discuss these things. They are very, very important.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. We love you. Thank you all for your comments and every other good things that you've always brought to our channel. We are so grateful. We cannot thank you enough. We wish everyone an amazing 2025.
Yes.
We pray that everything that we do becomes prosperous this year. The Lord bless us.
Amen.
And in our church, this year is the year of doings, laughter, and focus.
Yes.
So the Lord is going to be doing great and mighty things in our lives in the year 2025.
Thank you for your support always.
Thank you.
We love you.
We love you.
Bye.
See you in our next video. Bye.
Bye.